Yeah,
that you can share?
yeah. I think both Micah and Dietz are doing good things, and I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them play that position. I like the competition. I think it'll be ongoing, and both guys have approached it the right way.
You gave John a lot of reps in the spring. I think almost all of them once you guys went to team. How much has he grown from that point where you kind of, you threw him in the deep end of the pool in the spring?
Oh, I think it was great. I think he learned a ton. Really talked to Mike at that time about holding that second group together so those guys would continue to grow from a learning experience. And then Micah came in here in the spring, and John missed a little bit of time, and Micah kept improving. And so I like it. They're making each other better, those two.
You said you like to go in the season with 8. How close are you to that number? I look at the depth chart with, I think, Kapoy backing up left guard and Brett Connors backing up 3 spots.
Yeah.
It would seem like you're not
Yeah.
quite where you
Well,
hoped you would be.
obviously with Brett and with, I got a lot of faith in him. He battles his tail off. He obviously played the whole spring game and started, and with with Micah and John Dietz, and there's a nice combination where those guys can jump over to different spots. But yeah, the guys that are on the that are still emerging are David Mormon and David Edwards, and they're getting better. And those guys are getting better every day, and expect them to continue to improve through the year. But they'll be with us on the trip, and if they jump in there, they'll battle.
How much time has Connors got at center? I know he's played a lot of left tackle, right tackle in camp, but I know he was there before.
Yeah, he played all center. Actually, the first week of camp, he really didn't play anything but center, and then we did the same thing with him in spring ball. He played center almost exclusively until like the last week. So. Rather than kind of go back and forth a ton like today, he did a little bit of both because it's getting closer to the game. But feel like he can handle that, and it's a lot to handle. But he's done a nice job with it.
At what point this offseason did you feel like Bart would be a capable starter for you guys, and if you ended up going with him over Alex, was there a point in the offseason where you kind of realized he was good enough to be a starting quarterback in the Big Ten?
I think we always knew that he had the potential to be good enough. I mean, from way back. And then I just think that you watch the way guys approach it, and I think guys tell you through their actions how bad they want it. And those two both wanted it bad. And I think they'll continue to both want it at a high level. And so, like I said, kind of like the situation at left guard, their competition between them is making each of them better. And I expect them to keep battling the same way, and I'm excited about Bart's opportunity.
How much do you think he's grown since his last significant game action against Illinois? Like, how do you expect to see a very different player compared to when he had to go out there without much preparation?
I think the first question is easier to answer. Like he's grown a ton, just in the way he approaches it, the way he works, his habits of studying, and I just think he's got a great kind of. I like the way he's progressed in his understanding, and I think guys recognize that and see that in him. So I expect him to play with a lot of confidence, which he brings readily, and I think there'll be a confidence of the work level that he's put in that'll be added to, I think, his natural confidence.
Is Bart a guy that sort of a natural kind of leader type in the huddle? Did he have to kind of grow into that this offseason now that he knew he might be starting? Or
Well, I think there's confidence, and I think there's leadership. And I think he always has the confidence. Like the confidence part, even from the Illinois game, like when he jumped in there, like it wasn't a lack of confidence. I mean, he's pumped up and ready to roll, and he brings good energy that way. And then the leadership side, I think, comes from guys watching you prepare. And I think that's continuing to give him a bigger and bigger voice as he works through things. So, no, I think both of those things will we need both of those things to keep emerging, but I think they've taken a huge step to where you want Bart to be.
Coach, how much have you and the other coaches looked at specifics from the 2014 matchup with LSU to kind of prepare for this year's?
Well, for us, it'll be a little bit different, because obviously with Coach Aranda being there, we're expecting a different defense. But you can't help yourself but to go back and look and see the game. And it's going to be a great challenge, and these guys are excited for it. It's what college football is all about.
Joe, how much do you draw from what Aranda did here when putting together a game plan, knowing full well that he goes through a lot of research on opponents, but you obviously were a part of him last year going against him
Right.
every day in practice.
I think you watch everything. You know, like that's the habit of coaches. You try to watch as much as you can and try to gather as much info as you can and really try to put something together where you feel like the guys can, you know, execute with confidence. But yeah, we look at all of it. Try to take whatever pieces we can and learn from it and help the guys to be ready for it. Different looks, different things.
Does it help that a lot of the guys that you have starting on Saturday went against an Aranda defense last year, that they at least have a knowledge base of some of the things that he likes to do?
Yeah, I think in some ways, you know, for sure. I think there'll be some confidence, and you know, they see everything like this year in camp, and like last year in camp when Dave was here. You see so multiple fronts and multiple pressures, and boy, the volume of that you can get lost in, and that's where I think this group has grown. Their understanding's better. It's not about being on the right guy. It's about how you're fitting it. You know, it's about your technique. It's about seeing a bigger picture and then being able to concentrate on the details. So, yeah, I do think it'll help them.
John Ranchek has played college football before, obviously,
Mhm.
at this level, not in front of 80,000 people. Do you feel confident that he's going to be able to handle everything that he sees on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, I got great confidence in Ryan, and that's just it. It's going to be Ryan going out there and battling with the other 10 guys in the huddle, and that's what you try to express to each of them. You know, being able to look around that huddle and gaining confidence from one another is huge, because one person standing out there alone could seem big, you know, and, you know, you look at it, it could be a group out there that's pretty darn young and inexperienced, but, you know, they've been through a lot, even though their years won't show it, but their experiences could kind of make them a little more mature than what would seem.
When it comes to the offensive line, just how have you seen them grow in the past week and a half, and then how long does it usually take to kind of coalesce and get everyone on the same page?
Yeah, you know what was nice this past week is just getting everyone back. You know, getting Ryan back and getting Jacob back and really getting Bo back to right guard and just kind of letting things settle in a little bit as the week progressed. So that's been really nice the last few days. And I think you need that. I think that communication of who's next to you is huge. So, so I think we need to keep heightening our preparation all the way through the end of the week. So we'll keep plugging there.